we don't snap out of mental health struggles, it's a process. We journey through it. So I felt pressure because my family members, the teachers, everyone around me, the doctors were telling me I need to like snap out of it. I'm like, how? I am trying. I don't know. Through gaining insight about mental health awareness, it will help you to understand where you are at and help you to connect or link to the right person. And at the end of the day, you will be able to thrive. And that's why our slogan is healthy mind, healthy lives.
You're watching Mind Pursuit Podcast, where families get restored, transformed, and healed. Cause he never ever lose a battle. He never ever lose a battle. God never ever lose a battle. He never ever lose a battle. You're watching Mind Pursuit Podcast, where families get restored, transformed, and healed.
What's up, my people? Happy New Year and welcome to the Mind Pursuit Podcast. I'm your host, Masin Zuki, the Mind Advocate. If you're watching our podcast for the first time, we are all about mental health and well-being. So stay tuned, and while at it, remember to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and just keep it locked to learn more about Mind Pursuit Podcast. So in this section, you're going to learn more about me and how, life has been. Yeah. And I hope as you do so, it will give you a glimpse of what you are all about, right? Yes.
What was your biggest personal lesson last year?
Oh, so tumeanza na last year reflections. And one thing about me, I don't know whether it's a fun fact, but I'm a very reflective person. Yeah. So one thing that has stayed with me about last year was my year of significance. That's when I left employment to go full board into entrepreneurship. I ran a social venture called Debunking that focuses on supporting children, teens, and young adults between the ages of 3 to 24 years with emotional intelligence, life skills, and leadership capacity to thrive, while also supporting parents with mental health tools so that they are better able to support their children. So that's what Debunking is all about. And that's something that I did and did scared, but I'm really glad that I did it. It is also a year of significance because it was the very first year that I started the Mind Pursuit podcast. It was a long awaiting dream for me. So I am really glad that I was able to actually start it. And I really thank you. If you're one of our subscribers, I really appreciate you subscribing, and I encourage you to invite your friends, tell somebody to be able to subscribe and like, and even give us comments about how the episode has been.
Which challenge stretched you the most and what did you learn from it?
Oh, starting a podcast. It was not a joke. Actually, I came to I respect everyone who has a podcast because it is a lot of work, but it's so fulfilling. So how I was able to overcome it is by the amazing team that I have right here. Ooh, we are clocking it and they are clocking it with me. Oh my God. I really thank God for each and every one of you because you've made it easier for me to navigate recording this podcast. Yeah, and to God who has given me, insights, as I continue navigating, yeah, and we continue learning together. So that's what I can say. Yeah.
When did you feel God whispering guidance to you, even subtly?
That's deep. And I feel last year was that year for me. Like me and God, we were like this, so close. Like I felt him, I had him. Even this year, like I still feel him, but still at last year, like, oh my God, I just wanted to reduce the noise of people and stay with Christ and, have a relationship, a candid relationship with him. It's not that the other subsequent years I didn't have, but for last year particularly, because I was going through a transition, I just needed Jesus. And for me, one of the things that stayed with me is him telling me with him, nothing will be impossible. And even the jingle, I hope you have heard about our jingle, our new jingle. Feel free to give us your comments below on your feel when you listen to it. That is one of the songs that I was given by Christ. It was just a deposit, in my spirit. So yeah, that's what I can say. He has been the center, and he has really guided me, and he keeps on reminding me in the book of Luke, nothing will be impossible with him. Yeah.
Amazing. If you could leave behind one mindset, habit, or fear from last year, what would it be?
Doing it scared. We ain't doing it scared this year. We are roaring like the lions we are. So I am living out doing things scared, and I am doing things more intentionally and also more confidently than I was last year. So it has been a learning curve.
Mm. What moments last year made you feel most alive, fulfilled, or at peace?
Oh, after listening to stories, like the guests who I had last year, oh my God, they were just the bomb. They were amazing. From my sister to Diana to Cindy, Farhia, Franco, all of them, Sam Becky, talk about Devi. Like, oh my God, they really listen to their stories, my God. And how do I forget Slalu? Guys, by then go and listen to Slalo, and you'll begin to realize she's one person who taught us we don't call people alcoholics. It's the person, then the disease. So we say a person struggling with alcoholism. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we are able to learn. So go and learn from, the different guests that we had in the podcast. So after every story, for me, I was so fulfilled. Like, oh my God, like their resilience level, how I was able to pick things through, even how they were able to express themselves as they shared with us about, their journey through life. That was amazing for me.
Great. How did your relationships, career, or spiritual life evolve over the year?
How did the relationship evolve over the year? Oh, first of all, I learned people are dots. Like, yes, I knew people. It's important to interact with people because what you want, there's nothing new under the sun, and what you want somebody else, is able, already is living the life that you envision to live. But just being intentional about networking with different people. Last year, I networked like with people who I didn't know before, ever since I was born, ever since Adam. I did not know them, but I networked with them. So I was able to grow in terms of relationships. In terms of spirituality, that was the second one. So in terms of spirituality, I really grew because, hey, let me tell you, Maina, God expects us to be very obedient. And let me tell you, you may think obedience is easy, but my friend, I'm telling you, obedience is costly. Like, it's not easy. So, like, it made me actually understand why Adam, not even Adam, Abraham, is it Abraham who was told to leave to go and sacrifice his son? It is not easy. Sometimes you're like, I where God jamini, si unanipima, ujinga mo unanipima nini, but obedience is costly, the long and short of it. And for me, that's one thing I learned. But I'm really grateful that I was able to obey because I felt like God. I remember one day when I was driving from work, going home, and God told me it is time. That meant it is time to let go of employment and go fully into entrepreneurship. It was not easy, but I'm really glad that I had that peace, being in tune with God, because I really took time to pray, to meditate. Oh my God, that is the thing that actually held me down. And I'm glad I did that. So I grew in terms of spirituality.
You're watching Mind Password Podcast.
What one word or theme do you want to define this year for yourself?
This year is about scalability, and scalability in all aspects. And just to add on to career, like I did short courses, and that is one of the things that I'm carrying forward with me this year as well, being very intentional about the short courses that I'm doing to ensure that I continue growing in terms of personal development. Yeah. So scalability is the one word. Scalability in my social venture, scalability in literally everything that I do. Yeah.
So, which area of your life, be it spiritual, personal, professional, or emotional, needs the most focus this year?
Wow, that's a deep question. And actually mine are two: professional and emotional. They need, yeah. So period. Yeah, there's a lot of work there, Yeah. A lot of learnings to like I need to, embrace and embody as I navigate. Because entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted, but it's so fulfilling. Oh my God, it's deeply fulfilling. So yeah, so those two I can say for now.
What habits or practices will you carry into this year to support your growth?
Intentionality in ensuring that I follow through with the plans that I have. I am such a planner. So being able to ensure that I follow through in terms of what is it that that I need to do in my social venture, in my spiritual life, to nourish myself emotionally, to replenish myself physically, like resting, very important. So those are the things that I want to carry forward with me this year.
How can your faith guide your decisions and actions in the coming months?
Oh, it's actually the core. My faith is the core. Like, oh, faith, assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen, calling things that are not as though they are. The Bible is my weapon, it's my guide. So I intend to follow what the Lord is telling me to do. So obedience is also something that I'm carrying with me. Like, in as much as I am such a planner, I want to follow the will of God. So I am just awaiting his guidance. Where do you want me to go after this? Taking one step and trusting that he will show me the other step. And one thing about God is faithful. So I know and I'm confident that he's going to lead me through.
So, who in your life can you lean on for support, mentorship, or accountability this year?
Oh, one, my family members. Two, my mentors, my friends. Yeah, my mentees. I have a whole community that I know that I can lean on this year. Yeah.
What legacy or impact do you hope to create in your family, relationships, or community this year?
One of the legacy that I want to leave is being able to impact people's lives. So that at the end of the day, we are able to normalize mental health conversation. We are able to contribute to reduction of stigma and promote mental wellness. And this is especially within the family unit, because I feel like if the family is okay, and okay here, if the family is experiencing mental wellness, so it will ripple off through other generations. So that is one of the impact that I would want to make. And how I will intend to do that is using my voice, using the structures and the systems that I've been able to put in my social venture to be able to translate to impacting people's lives, meaningfully impacting people's lives. Yes.
Have you ever felt guilt, shame, or pressure for struggling mentally or emotionally?
Oh yeah, I have. And let me just take us back to even when I was in high school. Like, if you know my story, I used to collapse and I didn't know what the problem was. Have you ever had a problem and everyone around you is like telling you to snap out of it? And let me tell you, mental health struggles, we don't snap out of mental health struggles. It's a process. We journey through it. So I felt pressure because my family members, the teachers, everyone around me, the doctors were telling me I need to like snap out of it. I'm like, how? I am trying. I don't know. Yeah, but fast forward through learning. And that is why I am championing creating more mental health awareness, because through gaining insight about mental health awareness, it will help you to understand where you are at and help you to connect or link to the right person, the right people to be able to support you navigate that challenging situation. And at the end of the day, you will be able to thrive. And that's why our slogan is healthy mind, healthy lives.
What's the difference between spiritual challenges and mental health challenges?
Oh, yeah, and I hear this a lot. Spiritual challenges are challenges between you and God. Like you're struggling in relating with God. And one of the things that separates you from God is sin. And sin is anything that you do, that you say, that does not please God. That is sin. And that is what separates us from God. So those are spiritual. Now, when you talk about spiritual challenges, these are life challenges. Like, for example, if you're struggling with alcoholism, if you're struggling with negative peer pressure, those are some of the things that will cause you to sin, and as a result, you will not be aligned in terms of your relationship with God. But when you talk about mental health struggles, these are life challenges that affect our minds. Yeah. So sometimes you could be going through maybe lack of school fees, and that could contribute to you feeling stressed. Or you could be going through unemployment, and that could contribute to you feeling stressed. So those are some of the examples that I can think of top of my mind.
So there's a myth that says that mental health struggles are a sign of weak faith. How does this myth affect young adults?
Oh, and I see this a lot in the Christian spaces. Maze, like you're not allowed to be depressed or to go through a depressive episode. No, we are human beings. Even Jesus himself. I know there's nowhere in the Bible it says that Jesus was depressed, but Jesus wept. You know, that's the shortest scripture in the Bible. That tells me he was extremely sad. It's an overly sad mood. That's the definition. It's characterized by hopelessness and helplessness. So I believe by the time Jesus is weeping, not crying, weeping, he was going through it, you know. So it's okay for us to go through, you know, mental health challenges. Yeah. The thing is, we need not to allow them to define us as individuals.
You're watching Mind Password Podcast.
So there's another fact that faith and mental health can coexist. Seeking help is strength, not weakness. How can you apply this truth in your life?
Oh, first of all, normalizing seeking help. Because all of us need someone. Even Jesus needed the disciples for him to be able to, you know, work, for him to be able to reach more people. So we need people. So let's normalize asking for help. That's where it starts.
What one small action you can take this year to care for your mental well-being?
Oh, self care. Self care, showing up for yourself. What are you doing to show up for yourself spiritually in terms of being replenished? What are you doing to show up for yourself mentally in terms of building your capacity, in terms of things that are going to replenish your mind, you know, things that are going to transform your mind? What are you doing in terms of your emotional well being? What are you doing in terms of your physical well being? You know, like dressing up, like looking nice, like, you know, good grooming is part of self care. What are you doing in terms of social well-being? That is relating with people, because no man is an island. So showing up for yourself. And that's a challenge that I'm giving to all of us. Let us show up for ourselves holistically. And if you're struggling with this, feel free to DM us or call us on 0745 50 66 56, because this year we are going to have self-care conversation through the Deepco social venture. So all you need to do is just inbox, DM us on 0745 50 66 56, and we are going to onboard you to our community so that you can be able to learn more about showing up for yourself. That could be one intentional thing you do for yourself this year. And I know you will thank me later.
How can reflecting on your thoughts and emotions improve your mental and spiritual growth?
Reflecting on my thoughts and my emotion improve my mental and spiritual growth. Oh, it goes a long way because it sort of helps you to understand where you are at in terms of your mental well-being. What is disturbing your mind? Kuna kakitu kana kusumbua akili ama a thought ama una feel tu uko poa, you're very happy. What is causing you to be happy? It doesn't have to be all sad things. You can also be elated or happy. So what is causing you to feel happy? What is causing you to feel good? What is causing you to feel agitated, irritable? These are things that you're able to get when you sit with yourself, something we call mindfulness, sitting with yourself and listening to your thoughts and your emotions to try and understand where are you coming from. And then after that, you're able to nurture. Nurture is now picking things that are working for you, like taking a rest, taking a walk, journaling, talking to a friend if you realize there's something that is disturbing you, or talking to us as therapists if you realize that something is causing you not to fully function, in life. So these are some of the nuggets that I can give you for you to be able to thrive. So let's be intentional this year.
Okay, so looking back at your past year and moving on to another year, what is the single most important lesson you want to carry forward?
The power of process. Oh, I am learning. I have learned and I am still learning. We really underestimate the power of process. All of us talk about, or rather most of us, and that is what we see also online. Like, we just see people the way wameomoka, they are doing so many great things. But who talks about the process? Because that is where it is. And one thing I learned about Christ is he really valued the process. Just from the creation story. Like Jesus, all powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, every good thing we think about is a character of Christ. But you know what? Let's talk about even sovereignty. He's sovereign. But he was able to actually take time and, do the creation in 7 days. He was a God of process. He would have created everything in 1 day, in even 1 hour. But he chose the process. And the other thing I'm learning from God is order. He was able to be very intentional and very, with the sequence of the different things that he was able to, create every single day. So our God loves process. So why are we rushing? And to my age cohort, my people, and the people in their 20s and their 30s, inakujanga na pressure, But then where are we rushing at? If we just stay and enjoy the process and learn from the process, I believe there'll be a lot of gems that you can be able to share with other people.
How can you intentionally align your mind, heart, and faith to live this year fully?
Oh, okay, it's just in God. Allowing God to be the center so that he can be able to, guide us through this particular journey.
Okay, so what is one action you can take this week to start your year strong and intentional?
Oh, one action, I think for me is following through with my plans for this week and also being intentional about going to fellowship with other believers, because where 2 or 3 are gathered, Christ is always there. So those are the 2 things that I'm carrying with me this week.
You're watching Mind Password Podcast.
So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned more about me. And one thing I will leave you with is the same way we are talking about the power of process, counseling is also a process. So as we go through the Mind Pursuit podcast, talk about different topics. This is just to create awareness and to help you reflect and see where you are at as an individual. And now, if you need support, feel free to reach out to us on 0745 5066 5 6 so that we can be able to work together with you, because you don't have to do life alone. And let me tell you, it is okay not to be okay. So I hope you've learned a lot. Remember to subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.